Hello, friends. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you on November the 4th, hopefully with some winning sports picks. We'll get right into it here and review some of what we did over the weekend. It was a okay weekend for us. Um, we do need Kansas City tonight to win the game, first of all, but also preferably win the first half. We have two bets on that for one on Kansas City just to win, one on Kansas City to win the first half and the game, and that will make it a completely winning weekend for us. We would have certainly done much better had we not, on a couple of the teasers, put Tennessee first half, the Volunteers, and the whole game. By putting them first half in the whole game, it cut the juice down by just about over half. So it was a pretty good idea. The problem with this plan was Tennessee didn't win the first half. Tennessee lost the first half. They ended up winning the game, which really saved us. That would have torpedoed the whole weekend. Had they lost as, I think, 18 and a half point favorites or whatever it was to Kentucky, that would have been really bad. But by them not covering the first half of the game, we lost out on four more units of profit. So hopefully KC comes through for us tonight and makes it a winning weekend. But we certainly could have done a little bit better. Came very close on a lot of things. The Buffalo Bills certainly didn't help us yesterday. We needed them just to win by 5.5. They chose to fiddle fart around and only win against Miami by 3. So we could have used that, would have brought a couple of parlays in for us, and that would have been nice. These are the perils of the parlays. These are the perils of these juice reducer parlays we play. You see it time and time again here over the past few weeks, particularly so in pro more so than college, but you see it in college sometimes. Um, I've been really good so far about avoiding that landmine, avoiding stepping on the major upset. We saw earlier this year Notre Dame losing to NIU. I wasn't on that, thank goodness. But I just kind of sometimes I look at a game and I just have a feeling. Like a couple of weeks ago, Liberty was a 24-point favorite at home against Kennesaw. Kennesaw wins the game outright. Totally shocking. But I just saw that game and I thought, I don't have a good feeling about that. I didn't in my wildest dreams think that Kennesaw was going to beat Liberty, but sometimes you just get a feeling about something. So that is the downside of playing these parlays. The upside is, as we talked about Friday night, when you play the parlays, you can cheat a little bit with the lines. And you saw that especially Friday night. I warned you against taking Connecticut and just laying the 7. I said Connecticut was probably going to end up as a push. And that's exactly what happened. Connecticut won the game by 7. So if you had Connecticut laying the 7 points, then you didn't win anything. You didn't lose anything, but you didn't win anything. So what you could have done, which is what I did, take Connecticut, lay the 5.5 points, hook it up with Tennessee just to win the game, Army, Western Kentucky, and bada bing, bada boom, it's a plus 120 payout all of a sudden. So there's good and bad to the parlays, and it works out for us more often than it doesn't. But we will step on a landmine sometime, especially as we get into this college basketball stuff. And we're going to rely on that weeknights to go with some of this hockey, some of these hockey props we play. We will step on a landmine. We will have good 7 or 8 good NHL winning props wiped out because something crazy happens and Lehigh beats a top 25 team. It's going to happen. But by and large, this is a winning system. We're still up about 60 units this year, so we're going to stay with it. Speaking college basketball, it's already kicked off. It's been playing all day. I think maybe even early this morning, teams were already playing. But go easy on the college basketball, especially to start with. We don't know who these teams are. These teams, in some cases, have been completely rebuilt. In some cases, they have new coaches. We don't know what they're capable of. And so don't go crazy tonight. We're going to be betting on college basketball from now until March Madness. That's almost 5 months away. I think Reds opening day will occur before the basketball season is over for college. So we got a long way to go. Let some of this non-conference stuff play out. It's too hard to predict. Like tonight, we've got Cincinnati playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. The Bearcats are laying 32.5 points. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling the Bearcats are going to cover. I have a feeling the Bearcats are going to do really well, but 32.5, that's a lot of points. What that may come down to literally at the end, there's 3 seconds ticking off the clock, and some kid may put up a half-hearted 3-point bucket that makes it or doesn't make it. And that's going to be the difference between cashing a ticket or not cashing a ticket. So I don't want to cash tickets on that basis. I don't want to be in a position to have a losing ticket on that basis. So just go easy with college basketball. But I do have a college basketball bet in for tonight, and it is going to be the Bearcats. I do think they're going to roll. I do think they're going to get to that 93 and a half points over for a plus 106 payout. I got that on a boost on MGM. So that's just one unit though. So if it doesn't come through, I'm not out anything. I'm out the one unit. So just be careful, be smart. We do have a couple Tuesday night Maction plays for you. Actually, I think maybe one of these is Wednesday night, but um, anyway, I've got Ohio State and Kent, or I've got Ohio, not Ohio State, Ohio and Kent State going over the number of 52. These two teams combined this year are 10 and 6 to the over. Pretty good in conference play as far as racking up points, especially over the years. So we'll go ahead and take this over in Tuesday night Maction. I do also like Western Michigan tomorrow night against NIU. The public's on NIU. The public's been betting NIU ever since they beat Notre Dame back in September. And frankly, NIU hasn't done a whole terrible lot since then. NIU has lost a couple of games they probably shouldn't have lost. So we'll go ahead and take Western Michigan at home. It's one unit. We'll just hope for the best. Speaking of college basketball, we do have some first halves in a juice reducer money line parlay. St. John's, Butler, um, South Carolina, Pitt, and we're going to hook them up with a couple of third period overs in the only two NHL games that are going tonight. Kings and Predators, they're combined 18 and 5 on the prop. Kings, as we've talked about before, one of the better teams in the league in putting up third period goals. Preds, they've given up quite a few third period goals. That prop by itself is a minus 225. Hook it up with these college basketball heavy favorites just to win the first half, and it goes to plus 109. I'll take my chances. Same thing with the Devils and the Oilers in the over. It's a very juicy prop by itself. Throw it in this parlay, and it becomes a plus money payout. And the Devils and the Oilers are a combined 19 and 7 on third period overs. Take my chances. Just betting one unit here. So now you're asking yourself, how do I know all this? Why does he know all this stuff about these third period overs and first period unders and yes and no goal in the first 10 minutes? Well, I track it. This is my spreadsheet. It is a screen grab of my spreadsheet, and it's pretty self-explanatory in a way. The green, of course, is yes, it happened. The red means no, it didn't happen. I've got the total goals for and against for the whole game, plus the total goals. And you may be wondering, what's this two in this one business? What's all this about? Does that mean that in this example, the Devils scored two first period goals here? No, that's not what that means. What that means is, yes, it was a first period over, so I give it a weighted score of two. If it's a no, it's a one. That's what the red means. That's why the ones are in red and the greens are in two. I give it a rated score, and it comes up with a rate. So we'll look at the schedule, and let's say tonight I think this is the Rangers up here. Third period over Rangers. We're playing the Devils. We would look third period Rangers. Okay, they're hitting a lot of third period goals. So are the Devils. That'll be a bet for us. If we were looking at goal in the first 10 minutes, Devils, they don't have a lot of goals in the first 10 minutes. Rangers also not a whole lot of goals in the first 10 minutes. That could be a no goal in the first 10 minutes bet for us, which those are always plus money payouts. It's always a sweat. It's a bet that has a lot of value to it. So it's something we would go ahead and take a look at. But now let's say the Devils were playing the Islanders. The Devils, of course, have a lot of second and third period goals. The Islanders don't really have a lot of second and third period overs to speak of. So in that case, even though New Jersey has a lot of second and third period overs, we see here the Islanders do not, so it probably wouldn't be a bet for us. We'd probably actually just skip that whole game. So this is what we do, and this is the basis for all of these first and second and third period over props, under props, and a lot of my totals props comes from the spreadsheet that I maintain. So I do it so you don't have to. As far as my NHL Grand Slam tracking is concerned, I know this may look like a hot mess, this spreadsheet, but I guess you'll have to trust me that I know what I'm doing. And I track the total goals on every day in the NHL. And as you can see, I've placed a few bets. I've placed 4 Grand Slam bets, and I've got 3 of them correct, and I've got 1 of them incorrect. But I do keep track of the goal scored per game, as far as looking at just the past 5 games. I look at the teams and handicap them like I normally would, make my own guess, and then I come up with an aggregate figure of all these numbers, and I keep track of the variance on a day-to-day basis. So these are pretty good numbers, and I'm pretty confident when my number is different than the book's number, and our number is just about the same most of the time. When our number is different, that's a bet I'm going to probably fire on unless I have some actionable intelligence about goalies being out, people being hurt, travel spots, something like that. So I do keep track of all this, and I know what I'm doing, trust me. So that's all for tonight. I hope we have a good evening. We are pulling for the Chiefs, pulling for the Bearcats. Hopefully, we'll get some good college basketball going, and we'll have some more bets for you later on in the week. I hope everybody has a good night. I guess you should all go vote tomorrow for somebody, the person who you're choosing. And everybody have a good night. If you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. So long, everybody.